Disappointed. I feel like my dad is looking at me straight in the eyes right now, and he goes, Mitch, I'm not mad, but I am disappointed. And I'm disappointed. I know a lot of Raider Nation out there is disappointed. I'm Mitchell Renz, host of the Raiders Report. You're watching our post-game reaction of the Raiders' 20-13 loss up against the Miami Dolphins, and I'm disappointed because we've been screaming from the rooftops for a long time. Can the Raiders finally get a defense? And I'm looking at all y'all in the eyeballs right now saying this is the best defensive game I've seen the Raiders play this entire season. You were able to slow down the number one Miami Dolphins offense. You were able to force 3 turnovers. You got a turnover on downs. The amount of field goals that you were able to force by your offense was just that bad. Like, I'm frustrated. I'm disappointed because the amount of money that Josh McDaniels and Dave Ziegler spent on the offensive side of the football this season, I get it. Those two are not there anymore. But I don't know if Bo Hardegree tried to dress up like Josh McDaniels and do his best interpretation of how to run a vanilla offense, but I'm sorry. The offensive play calling in today's game was shameful. I mean, it was Josh McDaniels type of bad. The fact that you didn't try to score a touchdown going into halftime after a major turnover where you had some timeouts and you were comfortable kicking a field goal to make it 14-13. Imagine if you score a touchdown there. Imagine if you make that game 17-14. Guess what? The Raiders win this game. Why? Because then you're not forced to go for it on fourth down as much in the fourth quarter, in the third quarter, and you're able to kick those field goals and stack onto your lead a little bit. The reason why the Raiders lost this game is because of Bo Hardegree and Aiden O'Connell. That's just point blank simple. You went way too conservative. You were afraid to do anything offensively, and when you're going to go into an NFL game, if you're going to do anything in your life and you're going to tuck it between your legs, I mean, that's what it looked like. It looked like Bo Hardegree tucks it between his legs, sits down when he pees. That's the type of offensive game plan he had. That's why the Raiders lost this game today. There's no other reason. You had a rookie quarterback that looked like a rookie, but it's because the offensive play caller today was absolutely positively shameful. And I hope Antonio Pierce sits down Bo Hardegree and says, hey, man, listen, you got to be better, or else we're not going to have a job next year. Aiden O'Connell was bad. And I've said this before. I think AOC is going to have himself a good career. And he's going to be a good career backup in the NFL. 24-41, 271 yards, touchdown, 3 interceptions. I mean, the 3 interceptions are just inexcusable. I get he's trying to make a play at the end of the game. Jalen Ramsey had a hell of an interception. But anybody that watched this one knows that Aiden was not good. They failed to get the running game going with Josh Jacobs, and overall, it was a very, very frustrating game offensively because of how well the defense played. So here's my question to you. I want you to rate Aiden O'Connell against the Miami Dolphins. I want you to scale it from 1 to 10. 1 being he was absolutely terrible. 10, it was the best game that you've seen from the rookie all season. I know how bad Aiden was against the Los Angeles Chargers, but guess what? My answer to this one, this is about a 2. This is about a 2-gamer here from Aiden, and it's because he needed to make throws. I mean, there was a 3rd and 1 call. He goes deep. It's just the play calling stacked up with a rookie quarterback that clearly was not comfortable back there from top to bottom, man. It was a rough game. This is the worst game that you've seen from Aiden O'Connell, and it's why the Raiders next season, they need to draft a QB. Aiden's going to make himself one hell of a backup quarterback in the NFL. But at the end of the day, he's not good enough to be a starter. And if the Raiders had a top 32 quarterback on their roster, Jimmy Garoppolo's not top 32, Brian Hoyer's not top 60. Aiden O'Connell, to me, is better than Jimmy G still, and I'm still going to start him over Jimmy Garoppolo. But you lost this game today because you don't have an offensive coordinator and you don't have a quarterback right now. Jacobs, 14 carries, 39 yards. Couldn't really get much going there on the ground because the Dolphins stacked the box. They didn't respect Aiden enough, and they didn't respect the play calling in this game. Davante Adams, 7 for 82 and a touchdown. I mean, most of that damage came early on in this game. Like the Raiders, they scored 10 points in the first quarter. You were only able to score 3 points the remainder of the game. Why? Conservative, weren't able to make adjustments, bad quarterback play. Like, I get it. He's a rookie, and there's going to be a lot of people who are saying, Mitch, give him some time. Give him some credit. He's only a rookie. I'm sorry. I'm not in that business. If I'm going to sit up here and I'm going to rip Derek Carr to shreds, if I'm going to rip Jimmy Garoppolo to shreds, if I'm going to rip Brian Hoyer to shreds, Antonio Pierce made a decision. His decision was to start Aiden O'Connell at quarterback. So whether you're a rookie, whether you're a 15-year vet, if that's the product that you're going to give me on the field, that's just not good enough. Plain and simple, it's not good enough. If you feel the exact same way, I hear you. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you turn on those notifications. Man, I got videos coming out all year long. We got watch parties every single day. We're giving away a Raiders jersey at the end of our live show today. We're going to be live on Monday. We're going to be live on Tuesday. We will not be live on Thursday this week because it is Thanksgiving. And I want everyone out there to have an amazing, amazing Thanksgiving. I really, truly believe that. I hope it's a little bit better than the offensive performance that you got today. Because if you were to show me these numbers here, right? If you were to tell me at the end of this game, the Miami Dolphins had 1 turnover on down, had 3 turnovers, missed a field goal. I mean, that's 5 opportunities where the Raiders could have taken, in air quotes, a turnover and converted it into points. And simply, they were unable to do that. The number one factor in this game is they did not take advantage of opportunities that the Dolphins left behind. There's just no excuse for why the Raiders lost. But the glass half full is this. Raiders have a hell of a defense. Glass half empty is got to make a lot of corrections on the offensive side of the football. But if you got our sponsor Factor, I think you're always looking at this thing glass half full. I know this. As soon as I get done with today's live show, I am going home, and oh my goodness, I am going to be crushing some food. Whether that's chicken, mushroom, tetrazzini, maybe it's some red chili pork tamale bowl, or some honey mustard chicken. If anybody out there is getting hungry right now, go to factormeals.com/RaidersChat50 and make sure that you use code RaidersChat50 to save 50% off. Again, this November, get Factor and enjoy eating well without the hassle. Simply choose your meals and enjoy fresh, flavor-packed meals delivered right to your door, ready in just 2 minutes. No prep, no mess. Sponsored today by Factor Meals. Again, head to factormeals.com/RaidersChat50. 50% off with code RaidersChat50. Let's go to Christian. AOC was an absolute embarrassment today. No excuse. Aiden was not good. He wasn't. Aidan O'Connell was a bad QB today. He brought his DF game, if you will. Had way too much pitter-patter, but it also falls on the shoulders of Bo Hardigree. It falls on the shoulders of Antonio Pierce. It was a bad offensive game from top to bottom. Let's go to J-Man. Might have been a loss, but we competed with the best. You're right. We did compete with the best, and we should have beat one of the best teams in the NFL. But your offense was not ready. The defense was unbelievable, and that's why I'm so mad. I'm so mad right now that I feel like I could just break down because for how long have we been waiting for a great defense? Like, this was your game. This was your game to show the world that you had an opportunity to go out there and shock the world, and instead of just being decent on offense, you arguably had your worst offensive game of the year. I'm thinking of, like, Buffalo bad in week 2, Chicago Bears bad. Like, it was a just super, super bad offensive game. A horse and his beer. Thanks for reading my super chat. Raider fan by legacy, football fan by force. Cheers, and thank you, my friend. Hey, man, I'm a Raider fan because of the nation, for being the most diehard fans in all sports. Believe it or not, I relate with you guys more than you could ever know. Cheers to you. GBN. No. You take the field goals, WTF. I think it's easier to say that now, but I totally disagree with this statement. You were 20. It was 20-13. You're telling me you're going to kick a field goal to make it 20-16? And if your answer is yes, fine. You kick the field goal, you make it 20-16. Then you go down the offense again, and then you're going to kick another field goal? You wouldn't do that. If you're down 20-16, that's what every single Raider fan alive got mad at Josh McDaniels doing. It was 20-16. Why would you kick a field goal? You're going to kick another field goal, make it 20-19? You're still losing. Anybody out there that says that the Raiders should have taken the points and that the Raiders should have kicked the field goals is wrong. The correct answer is this. The Raiders at the end of that first half should have actually tried to score a touchdown instead of letting 40 seconds go off the clock and saying, okay, I'm all right kicking a field goal. I'm all right being conservative. I'm okay going down 14-13 at half. That's not how you run your offense. That's not how you play football. You try to score a touchdown there, and if you score a touchdown, then you take the field goals late in the game. Anybody out there saying that the Raiders should have taken the field goals in this game, it's easier said now that the Raiders got those stops. But in that situation, that's just dumb football. Let's go to Sweet Jazz. Everyone is being too critical. We had a chance to tie the game with less than a minute left. I take that all day, every day. And you're right, Sweet Jazz. People are being critical. But people are being critical because I feel like, yet again, the Raiders are letting down the nation. There is no excuse for losing this game. I'm telling you all right now, this is one of the worst games that the Raiders have played defensively. They played great. And that's why this sucks. This was the best defensive game the Raiders have played all season. You stopped the number one offense in total yards, total points, total passing yards to 20 points. 20 points. You forced 3 turnovers, missed field goal, turnover on downs. Like, I don't know what more your offense was looking for, but the frustrating part is you played an A-plus game defensively, and it's yet again your offense can't do anything. When you spend the amount of money that the Raiders did on offense, I don't care who your head coach is, you got to be able to put up more points than 13. Justin, top 10 D, sub 32-0. I still have faith in AP. He's defensive mind. I have a lot of faith in Antonio Pierce. Like, I don't look at today's game and I go, that's on you, Antonio Pierce. I look at this offense and I still say, that's on you, Josh McDaniels. That's on you, Dave Ziegler. You guys decided to spend all this money on the offense and we don't have a quarterback. And the reason why we don't have a quarterback is because you decided to hire a dumbass and Josh McDaniels that decided to go out and sign Jimmy Garoppolo to all this money. And now we don't have the most important position to QB. You could have had Aaron Rodgers. You could have had Lamar Jackson. You could have drafted a C.J. Stroud if you really wanted to trade up. If you would have told me right now, Mitch, would you have traded up 2-3 first-round picks for C.J. Stroud or paid Jimmy Garoppolo $72 million? I'm trading up for C.J. Stroud every single day of the week. Nobody with a brain thought that going out and getting Jimmy Garoppolo was the right answer. And that's why I'm frustrated, because even though Josh McDaniels and Dave Ziegler are not coaching this game, I feel like we lost this game because of those two, because they crippled us. They handicapped us with 3 quarterbacks on our roster that aren't top 32 quarterbacks in the NFL. Here's my question. I want you to grade the play of the Raiders defense against the Dolphins, and I mean this. If you don't type anything besides an A, I do not take your football knowledge seriously. I don't take your ability to watch a game seriously, and I just don't trust what you have to say very seriously. I mean it. Like, I see Modelo times 661, B+. You're wrong. I see another person down there saying an F from Sam. You're wrong. If it's not an A, you don't know football all that well, and that's okay. And I get that not everybody can understand the game all that well, but this was the best defensive game the Raiders have played all season. And if you don't see that, I can't really help you here, man. Let's go to Ruthless. That last pick should have been a fumble for a Raiders touchdown. No one touched Ramsey when he caught it, and then he let it go, and he was on the ground. Again, man, like, I hear you. I'll go back and I'll watch it. There were a few plays like that I thought that the officials really missed in this one. I mean, but it's a bad throw by Aiden. You can't throw the ball double coverage to Trey Tucker. You want to throw the ball double coverage to Davante? Cool. You want to throw the ball double coverage to Jacoby? I'm probably even cool with that. Double coverage throwing up to Trey Tucker, the receiver who's literally made least on your team, to go up and get a 50-50 ball. I don't get it. There's just way too many missed opportunities against Jalen Ramsey. Like, even go back to the 3rd and 1 play call. 3rd and 1, they ran a flea flicker deep down the field. Why not just 4th and 1 to Jacoby Myers down the field? Like, your play selection on 4th down and 1, 3rd down and 1, it was disgraceful today. Jeffrey Kreischer, AOC was balling early. Then they started playing like they had no confidence in him. Then, when they needed him, he played with no confidence. I put more blame on the coaching. This one goes on coaching, but it also goes on Aiden. Like, to me, Bo Hardigree, Aiden O'Connell, those are your top 2 reasons why you lost this game today. I've said it once, I've said it twice, I feel like I've said it 100 times today. Those are your top 2 reasons why you lost this football game. Let's go to Root Dog. Not even upset. We beat ourselves, had plenty of chances. We killed with McDaniels. We get killed with McDaniels easy. I still think you lose this game definitely if you have Josh McDaniels. Yeah, but to me, you got to be better. You just got to be better offensively, man, when your defense plays that well. Aaron, trade for Kyler Murray. I don't want to trade for Kyler Murray. You got to trade for him next year. You want to pay Kyler Murray $50 million a year? I know I don't. The only way I'm paying a quarterback $50 million a year and giving up multiple first-round picks is if I believe that they are a top 10 quarterback. If right now 90% of the people watching this show say, Mitch, Kyler Murray is a top 10 quarterback. Cool. I don't think 90% of the people watching the show right now say Kyler Murray's top 10. I think 60% might. 60 might. But I ain't giving up that much for a quarterback, $50 million, who's not a leader. Ruben, I'm not mad at it. Defense looks phenomenal. It's AOC, 4th game playing on the other side of the country to a hyped-up Miami crowd. This one can slide. It can slide, but then how many are you going to let slide? Because next week you got Kansas City, and that's why I'm upset. I'm upset because it's not just one game. Now you got the Chiefs next week. If you win this game and you're 6-5, then you're going into Kansas City. If you lose that game, you're 6-6 in the bye. If you would have told me we'd be 6-6 at the bye this season, I'd take that every single day of the week. You go 5-7 into that bye, totally different conversation. It is. It's a totally different one. OC, Mitch, Miami has a legit D. Front line and DBs looked really good, no doubt. I mean, you got Bradley Chubb, you got Jalen Phillips, You got Jalen Ramsey, Xavier Howard. I mean, you have those 4 players that I just mentioned there. That's about as good as it gets in the league. But you still need to be able to do the simple things. And to me, the Raiders shot themselves in the foot with the simple things. 3rd and 1, deep ball down the field. 4th down and 1, deep ball down the field. Why not just go for a yard? Why not go for 2, especially when guys are open? Aiden missed open receivers, and Bo Hardigree did not put his rookie quarterback in a spot to succeed. DJ, who else in the house can be the offensive coordinator? AP job is on the line. Antonio Pierce's job is on the line. Like, we could talk about how great the Raiders' defense is. We could talk about this and that. But if you don't put points up in the NFL, that's where the concentration is going to go. If you can't put up points in the NFL teams are going to come find you. And they're going to come hunt you down. Here's my question, though. Can the Raiders make the playoffs? Yes or no? The answer is yes. They have a playoff caliber defense. I'm going to say that again. The Raiders have a playoff caliber defense. It's, can the offense put it together? Can the offense get their shit together enough where they believe that they can compete? Because you're what? You're 5-6. You can only lose 2 more games the rest of the year. So that means you got Kansas City, Minnesota, Kansas City, Chargers, Colts, Broncos. You got to win 4 out of those 2 to give yourself a shot. If you lose 3, you're done. You don't have a chance. Let's go to John. Man, if we win the Chiefs, I'll take that. But WTF, this OC sucks. Our O-line sucks, but I'm still F Josh McDaniels. We're still on a better path. Josh McDaniels and Dave Ziegler ruined this football team, and that's the truth. David Zahn, we need an OC and we need to draft a QB and let them fight it out. I mean, here's my problem. If you draft a quarterback in your top 3 rounds next year's draft, brand new head coach, brand new GM, they're the starter over Aiden O'Connell. Like, that's how I'd view it. Yeah, you still got to let them bet them out. You got to let them compete a little bit, but whoever you draft next year, if it's in the top 3 rounds, that's the favorite to start. Buzz, the defense was A+. This might have been the best defensive game I've seen this Raiders team play in a long time. It's better than the Giants game. Giants offense stinks. I get it. They only gave up 6. Giants offense stinks. Wild one. Fact, Peyton Manning was 3-13 his rookie season. Was he a top 15 quarterback? Give the damn playoff thoughts on your heads and judge the progress. Give the damn playoff thoughts out of your heads. Again, while I know you were mad at me for making a playoff video, I'll just say this. I get you want to be angry. I get you want to talk your shit, but you got to start watching the show more to be able to talk like this. Like, that's me being real with you. I'm going to talk about the playoffs. To me, this is a playoff caliber team, so I need to start acting a little bit more like Mount Raider more and show up. Let's go to Jay Clay. Still better than what would have occurred if we played them 3-4 weeks ago. Probably, yeah. Like, again, the Raiders are making positive strides forward, and that's why I'm not screaming, fire this, fire that. I am frustrated because I just watched a football game for 60 minutes. I'm frustrated because I just watched a very winnable game for 60 minutes, and for your defense to play the way that they did for that amount of time against the best offense in the National Football League, I'm frustrated because I feel like we let a win slip by. In today's age in the NFL, you let it slip by. And for anybody out there that's really, really rooting for Antonio Pierce to be the head coach, this is a big loss. It's a big loss, man. Let's go to Raider Kevin. There was no improvement from the Jets game. OC and QB play was not good enough. Antonio Pierce needs to show why he deserves the job. Could not agree with you more, Kev. Let's go to Brody. Feels like we're a quarterback away. We are a quarterback away. We have a great offense. And Davante, Jacoby. I think you have a good tight end and, Michael Mayer. You got a good offense with Hunter Renfrow. You got a great running back in Josh Jacobs. Your defense is a top 10 unit. We are a quarterback away. And unfortunately, the most important position in the NFL is a QB. Now, our programming schedule coming up here is this. Monday, Tuesday, we will be live tomorrow. Monday Overreaction. Tuesday, live 4 p.m. Eastern Time, 1 p.m. Pacific. Then Thursday, happy Thanksgiving. Chugs and I are going to go enjoy our time with our families because the Raiders are on Christmas this year, so we will not get Christmas off, which Chat Sports schedule essentially means this. We will be off on Thanksgiving. And then we're going to be back live on Sunday. Raiders, Chiefs. I don't know if those times are accurate for the Chiefs-Raiders game. I really don't think they are. I know they're not accurate, but we will be live for Raiders-Chiefs. There's a 0% chance that those times are accurate. It's 4 p.m. 4 p.m. Eastern. 3 p.m. Eastern time, we go live. Okay. All right. Yeah, I was going to say, that time, no way. Either way, man, we'll be live for Raiders-Chiefs. We're going to be live Monday, Tuesday. So make sure you guys are tuning in.